In previous lecture, we already discussed the motion of charged particle under the influence of electric field, constant electric field. There we have to consider two directions of application of electric field parallel to the motion of charged particle and perpendicular to the motion of charged particle. We know very well whatever the force is developed due to the application of electric field to that charged particle, that value of force is F is equal to Q dot E. That is a charge into applied electric field. Now we are proceeding towards our next point, that is the motion of charged particle in a constant magnetic field. So in constant magnetic field, that means that particle is subjected under the influence of constant magnetic field having the induction B safe. For our convenience, we have to here assume that the direction of applied magnetic field of induction B is along Z axis. Therefore, we have to consider the component of magnetic field along the Z axis is as Bz, and we have to say that the direction of velocity is as shown in figure. Velocity of that charged particle is as shown in figure C. So now motion of charged particle in magnetic field of induction B is given by the relation m into dv by dt is equal to q dot v cross b. So what is this q dot v cross b? Q dot v cross b is a force developed due to the application of magnetic field. And what is m into dv by dt? It is nothing but the mass into acceleration as per the Newton's second law. So this is Lorentz equation, that is m into dv by dt, that is a force due to the motion of charged particle and force due to the application of magnetic field of induction B. Both are going to be equate here. So we have get this equation. Now taking the dot product of this equation with velocity v, we have to get m into dv by dt into dot v is equal to q vector v dot v cross b. So m into v dot dv by dt is equal to 0 because this is the scalar triple product. If the scale, in case of scalar triple product, if you have to take the two factors is as same, that is here vector v and vector v is same, therefore this is going to be 0. So though as it is a scalar triple product, that value is going to be 0. So we have to get m into vector v dot dv by dt is equal to 0. So we have to make the adjustment in such a way that the derivative of that quantity is going to be 0. So for the purpose of that, we have to make the adjustment m into d by dt of v square by 2. What is the derivative of v square? 2v. So v is already existing here, but 2 is not there. So we have to divide it by 2. So we have to write, say here, m into d by dt of v square by 2 is equal to 0. So we have to take this m within this bracket. So d by dt 1/2 m square is equal to 0. So derivative of constant is going to be 0. We know very well this thing. Therefore 1/2 m square is nothing but the constant. So we have to write this 1/2 m square constant. So let magnetic field is along z axis is Bz. So when we have to define the magnetic induction, so magnetic induction, overall magnetic induction is I cap Bx plus J cap By plus K cap Bz. So component of the magnetic induction along Z axis is K cap Bz. So we have to consider here vector B is equal to K cap Bz because we have to assume that the magnetic induction is along the Z axis. So vector B is equal to K cap into Bz. So velocity of particle due to the application of this magnetic induction is acquired by the charged particle, velocity is acquired. So vector V is equal to I cap Vx plus J cap Vy plus K cap Vj. So we have to put this value of V within this equation. So we have to get m into d by dt of v means I cap vx plus j cap vy plus k cap vz is equal to q dot v cross b. So I cap vx plus j cap vy plus k cap vz cross k vz. So we have to take the cross product of this one along with this product of q. So we have to write here I cap m into dvx by dt plus j cap m into dvy by dt, k cap m dvz by dt is equal to I cross I cap cross k cap, that value is nothing but I cross j, sorry, I cross k is nothing but minus j. So we have to write this minus j cap q vx bj plus j cross k is nothing but I, so q vy bz into I cap. K cross k is 0, so we have to remove that terms because that k cap cross k cap is 0. So comparing the coefficient of I cap, j cap and k cap, we have to write here dv m into dvx by dt is nothing but q vy bz, call this equation second. M into dv by dt is nothing but minus q vx into bz, call this equation 3. So m dvz by dt, there is no coefficient of k cap in right hand side, so that value is going to be 0. So call this equation number 4. From equation 2, we have m into dvx by dt is equal to qbz upon m into dy. We have to transfer this m from equation 2, whatever m to the left hand side, we have to transfer to the right hand side. We have to get dvx by dt is equal to qbz upon m into dy. Call this equation number 5. So dvy by dt is nothing but equal to minus qbz upon m into vx. Call this equation 6. Similar to that of the dvx by dt, and we have to transfer the m from the right hand side to the left hand side, and remaining one in the vz by dt is equal to 0 we have to get here. Call this equation 7. Now we have to put omega is equal to qbz upon m. So we have to put this value here. So dvx by dt is equal to omega vy. Call this equation 8. Similarly, we have to put qbz upon m is here again omega. So dvy by dt is equal to minus omega vx. Call this equation 9. And dvz by dt is equal to 0. Call this equation 10. Here in equation 8 and 9, we have to say that this equation is the coupled equation. Why it is called coupled equation? Because acceleration along one direction is depend on the velocity along another direction. In first equation number 8, say acceleration along x-axis is depending on velocity along y-axis. Acceleration along y-axis depend on velocity along x-axis. Therefore, this two equations is called as a coupled equation. So we have to get this equation. That means equation 8 and equation 9 is a coupled equation. Here we have to differentiate equation number 8 with respect to t. We have to get d2 vx by dt square is equal to omega dvy by dt. But what is the value of dvy by dt? Minus omega into vx from equation 9. So we have to use this here. So we have to get d2 vx by dt square is equal to omega into bracket minus omega into vx. So omega into omega, omega square minus sign. So d2 vx by dt square is equal to minus omega square vx. So we have to take this to this side. We have to get d2 vx by dt square plus omega square vx is equal to 0. Call this equation number 11. So solution of this equation 11, because this is one of the differential equation. So solution of this equation 11 is vx is equal to v0 sine omega t plus phi. Call this equation number 12. So differentiating this equation, we have to get dvx by dt. v0 derivative of sine cos omega t plus phi. Derivative of omega t is nothing but omega. So we have to get dvx by dt. is equal to V0 omega cos omega t plus phi. Call this equation 13. From equation 13 and 8, that means this value from equation dvx by dt from equation 8 is nothing but dvx by dt is equal to omega vy. We have to put this value here. So omega vy is equal to v0 omega cos omega t plus phi. So vy is equal to omega omega get cancelled, v0 into cos of omega t plus phi. Call this equation 14. Now we know dvz by dt is equal to 0. That is velocity of particle along z-axis, that is vz. And derivative of that one is nothing but acceleration. So we have to say acceleration along z-axis is 0. So integrating this equation 7, we have to get vz is equal to vz0, that is nothing but your constant. Call this equation 50. We know very well the velocity along x-axis in terms of displacement along x-axis is considered as x. At that time, that velocity is Vx is equal to dx by dt. Similarly, Vy is equal to dy by dt. Vz is equal to dz by dt. So, Vx is nothing but dx by dt. And that value is equal to V0 sine omega t plus phi. It is already known to us. Integrating this equation, the integration of dx by dt is x. And integration of sine omega t plus phi, that is sine integration is nothing but cos, and omega t plus phi integration is divided by omega. So we have to get x is equal to v0 upon omega cos of omega t plus phi plus x0, where x0 is our constant of integration. So we have to take this x0 value to this RHS side, that is right hand side. We have to get x minus x0 is equal to v0 upon omega cos of omega t plus phi. Call this equation number 16. So from equation 14, we know very well dy by dt is equal to v0 cos of omega t plus phi. That is velocity along y-axis is this value, dy by dt is equal to v0 cos of omega t plus phi. Integrating this equation, we have to get y is equal to minus v0 upon omega sine of omega t plus phi plus y0, where y0 is our constant of integration. So here integration of cos is nothing but minus sign. So omega t plus phi, that is divided by omega. So we have this equation here, minus v0 upon omega sine of omega t plus phi plus y0. Transferring this to this side, y minus y0 is equal to minus v0 upon omega sine of omega t plus pi. Call this equation number 17. Again we have considered the equation dvz by dt is equal to 0. So integrating this, again get vz is equal to vz0. So vz is nothing but dz by dt is equal to vz0. Integrating this, we have to get z is equal to vz0 t plus z0. Call this equation 18. So from 16 and 17, by making the squaring and addition of that one, two equations, we have to get x minus x0 bracket square plus y minus y0 square is equal to v0 square upon omega square. Call this equation 19. From equation 16, 17 and 18, it gives the trajectory of the particle in constant magnetic field. And we have to see that trajectory of particle in constant magnetic field is in the form of spiral, and it is along the z-axis, because to that direction your magnetic induction, so the magnetic field of having induction Bz is to be applied. Therefore we have to get the spiral motion along the z-axis. This is the trajectory of the particle when particle is subjected to the under constant magnetic field. And the projection of that trajectory is shown by this figure. We have shown the spiral path along z-axis in xy plane. So B is nothing but the magnetic induction, component of that magnetic induction along z-axis is Bz. So we have to get this projection of that motion of particle under constant magnetic field in xy plane.